Justice Minister's response today about that the Ethics Commissioner had, she pre-cleared this with the Ethics Commissioner?
Well, I would just simply refer you to the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau's Open and Accountable Government, where in the section under ministerial conduct, it says in the very last paragraph, this obligation is not fully discharged merely by acting within the law. The minister is clearly, and it's very obvious to anybody who's paying attention, doing things that by any standard in the last Parliament would have been deemed unethical, and she can't hide behind the Ethics Commissioner in this. Canadians simply don't buy it.
She came with one of her ministerial aides today, and she had a bit of an explanation about that today. What did you think of that response?
Well, I thought it was completely farcical. She shows up, and she claims to be an MP. She's got her ministerial aide in tow with her, claiming to be a volunteer. The Liberal Party of Canada doesn't have any volunteers in the Greater Toronto area that can come and attend a fundraising event or put on a fundraising event, and then she claims she's there simply as a member of Parliament from Vancouver, talking to a bunch of high-priced lawyers in downtown Toronto. It doesn't add up. It's not a defense at all. Canadians can see right through it.
What's the remedy here for her? Is there a way that she could kind of make this good in your view?
She should apologize for what she's done. She clearly hasn't met the standards that have been laid out by her leader. She hasn't met the test that has been said in the previous parliaments. So she should simply apologize to Parliament and return the money.
Now, you guys do fundraising events all the time. You did them in the previous government. You must have had situations like this where you had cabinet ministers going to events where they could potentially be in contact with people who wanted to influence them in some way.
Well, you take a look at the example that I brought up in the House of Commons today, where Shelley Glover, the former Minister of Canadian Heritage, was at an event, and when she found out that people were making donations who would like to be influenced by the department, she returned the money. This is no different than what the minister should have had the foresight. The current Minister of Justice should have had the foresight to know that having a fundraiser, as in her role as Minister of Justice with a bunch of lawyers in downtown Toronto, would have the appearance of a conflict of interest.
Do you think the rules are clear enough, though? Because the Ethics Commissioner herself said, well, there's some fuzziness there. Maybe MP should have another look at them.
Well, we're reviewing some of these things in the Ethics Committee as we go through. We're looking at a couple of different pieces of legislation right now. But look, if it doesn't pass the smell test, it doesn't pass the smell test, regardless of whether the Ethics Commissioner can follow her set of rules to make these things happen. So she needs to improve the code or improve the legislation. I'm looking at it. But it doesn't even meet the criteria laid out right by Prime Minister Justin Trudeau in his own open and accountable government, right where it talks about the section dealing with ministerial accountability. So she's not meeting the test of her own leader, and her leader should clamp down on her for it.